The Ballon d'Or, football's most prestigious individual prize, is awarded to only one name each year. But who that name will be is being debated months in advance. In this video, we evaluate the 15 footballers most likely to win the Ballon d'Or in 2025. Some players stand out with trophies, others with individual statistics. But will it be a surprise winner or one of the favorites? We'll see it all in a moment. Let's take a look at the 15 strongest names in the Ballon d'Or race. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In 2024-25, 13 goals, 12 assists, won League One and Trophy des Champions. In truth, this spot could easily go to Kvicha Kvaratskhelia or Bradley Barcola, both of whom have shown for PSG, they go chasing a treble after already securing the League One title. Doué, however, has better goal involvement numbers than Kvaratskhelia, while he is now producing iconic moments in the Champions League as Barcola watches on from the bench. As such, the former Rennes teenager gets the nod here, and if he can maintain his current form through to the end of the campaign, then a first Ballon d'Or nomination is certainly within his reach. In 2024-25, 7 goals, 5 assists, won League One and Trophy des Champions. After being something of a surprise inclusion on last year's Ballon d'Or shortlist, it would now be a shock if Vitinha were to miss out on a place among the nominees in 2025 after a masterful campaign in PSG's midfield. The ex-Wolves loanee has been the beating heart of Luis Enrique's much-improved side, and having proven their Champions League credentials by knocking out Liverpool and Aston Villa, the League One champions could yet end the season by claiming a treble. Such a trophy return could yet catapult Vitinha into real contention too. In 2024-25, 22 goals, 16 assists, won UEFA Super Cup and Intercontinental Cup. Upon confirmation of his surprise second-placed finish in the 2024 Ballon d'Or, Vinicius swore that the world wasn't ready for what he hoped would become his revenge tour. The Brazilian clearly felt that he should have been up on stage with the Golden Ball rather than Rodri, and has been attempting to stake his claim ever since. Certainly, the Real Madrid winger looked in electric form during the first half of the campaign, and there might not be a forward anywhere in world football who can match Vinicius in full flow. However, 2025 has not been a great year for the former Flamengo wonderkid thus far, and even getting back to his best in the final weeks of the season might not be enough to save Madrid from missing out on the 3 trophies they crave the most. In 2024-25, 14 goals, 16 assists, won UEFA Super Cup and Intercontinental Cup. After his remarkable debut season at Real Madrid, it was perhaps inevitable that Bellingham would take a backward step in 2024-25. And certainly in terms of his goal scoring, the England midfielder struggled to hit the same heights during the opening months of the campaign, as he got used to a new role following the arrival of Kylian Mbappe. Bellingham has seemed to have figured out how he can best contribute for Los Blancos in more recent times, and started to produce in the final third while also providing the tenacious work rate that sets him apart from some of the world's other top players. However, after finishing third in 2024, another Ballon d'Or push now looks beyond the 21-year-old after Madrid's month to forget. 9 goals, 13 assists. Ahead of Arsenal's meeting with Real Madrid in the Champions League quarter-finals, it felt as if Declan Rice was having a solid, if unspectacular season at the heart of the Gunners' midfield. But after his remarkable free-kick brace in the first leg, coupled with his dominant performance in the return fixture to complete the elimination of the defending European champions, the England man's campaign is being looked at in a whole different light. It's no secret that Ballon d'Or voters prioritize performances in the biggest games when filling in their ballots, and so if Rice can raise his game again at Parc des Princes next Wednesday to reach the Champions League final, he could thrust himself right into contention even at this late stage of the race. In 2024-25, 6 goals, 10 assists, 11 clean sheets, won League One and Trophy des Champions. Nuno Mendes' talent has been evident for a few years now, but the part he has played in PSG's run to the semi-finals of the Champions League seems to have elevated the Portugal international to new heights among fans around the world. The ex-Sporting CP star earned plaudits for the way he shut down Mohamed Salah against Liverpool in the last 16 before scoring goals in each leg of the quarter-final victory over Aston Villa. He faces another big test in the semis up against Arsenal's Bukayo Saka, but you wouldn't bet against Mendes again rising to the occasion. In 2024-25, 34 goals, 5 assists, won UEFA Super Cup and Intercontinental Cup. Mbappe may not have enjoyed the start to life at Real Madrid that he or the club's fans wanted, but he still scored his fair share of goals and looked to have taken his game to another level after scoring a stunning hat-trick against Manchester City in February that was seen by many as a true announcement of his arrival at the Bernabeu. However, things are spiraling out of control for both Mbappe and Madrid as the season enters its final weeks. They surrendered their Champions League crown in meek fashion against Arsenal, lost the Copa del Rey final to Barcelona, and the Liga title is also slipping away for Los Blancos, as Barca pull clear ahead of the season's final Clásico on May 11th. It's no secret that Mbappe craves the Ballon d'Or given its standing in his home country, but there it seems that he has now blown a big opportunity to lift the golden ball in 2025. 41 goals, 12 assists. Is this the year Kane finally ends the wait for the first trophy of his otherwise storied career? Certainly, Bayern have got themselves to within one win of securing the Bundesliga title under Vincent Kompany, with the England captain yet again showing his goal-scoring instincts remain at a high level despite having turned 31 over the summer. Rodri's triumph highlighted that goals alone don't necessarily win players the Ballon d'Or anymore, but Kane certainly has the all-round game that should catch the voters' eyes, even after a disappointing Champions League quarter-final defeat to Inter. In 2024-25, 12 clean sheets, 1 Ligue 1 and Trophée des Champions. While it has now been 62 years since Lev Yashin became the first and, thus far, only goalkeeper to win the Ballon d'Or, there is always a place for the world's best shot stoppers on the short list of nominees, and Donnarumma has separated himself from the pack in 2025, thanks to his outstanding performances in the Champions League knockout rounds. He was PSG's penalty shootout hero at Anfield in the last 16 before pulling off some crucial saves against Aston Villa, as the Premier League outfit threatened to come all the way back from being 4 goals down in the second leg. Donnarumma followed that up with yet another superb showing against Arsenal on Tuesday. And if the French champions go on to complete a treble, their Italian goalkeeper will have played a major role. In 2024-25, 42 goals, 5 assists, 1 Copa del Rey and Supercopa de España. After Lewandowski missed out on the Ballon d'Or shortlist in 2024, it seemed like the Poles' long and, thus far, fruitless bid to pick up a golden ball was over. However, having been reunited with his former Bayern Munich coach Hansi Flick at Barcelona, the 36-year-old has rolled back the years to become one of Europe's most potent number 9s once again. Age has shown signs of catching up with the veteran at times, while there are undeniably more thrilling players to watch in his own team, never mind among Barca's rivals. But Lewandowski still set himself up to be back in the Ballon d'Or, reckoning with his fine campaign. He will now hope that the hamstring injury that is set to rule him out of both legs of the Champions League semi-final against Inter won't keep him on the sidelines for the remainder of the campaign. In 2024-25, 36 goals, 24 assists, 1 Premier League. Speculation over Salah's future has finally been put to bed after he signed a new 2-year contract at Liverpool, and few can argue that it is not well deserved. The Egyptian king has rediscovered his best form, and then some under new coach Arne Slot, leading the Reds to secure the Premier League title at a canter. However, having been the overwhelming favorite for most of this Ballon d'Or campaign, Salah's hopes were damaged by Liverpool's shock last 16 elimination in the Champions League, and his own no-show in the Carabao Cup final defeat to Newcastle a few days later. The 32-year-old could still yet become Africa's first Golden Ball winner since 1995, but the odds on him doing so in 2025 have lengthened somewhat. In 2024-25, 6 goals, 8 assists, 1 Copa del Rey and Supercopa de España. His goal and assist numbers don't jump off the page, but anyone who has watched Barcelona this season will wax lyrical about the levels that Pedri has been displaying for Hansi Flick's side. Seemingly injury-free for the first time in years, the Spain star is finally returning on the potential he showed as a teenager before fitness issues caught up with him, with many now touting him as the world's best midfielder after his star turn in the Copa del Rey final. For Pedri to get into the true Ballon d'Or running, he will have to continue translating his La Liga performances into the Champions League. But with Barca still chasing a place in the final, there is every chance that he could be the midfield linchpin who helps lead them to the treble. 35 goals, 25 assists, 1 Copa del Rey and Supercopa de España. There were those who argued against it early on, but it's been clear for weeks now that Rafinha is currently the most decisive of Barcelona's electric front three, and his raw goal and assist numbers certainly help back that up. The ex-Leeds United winger would likely have been sold last summer if Barca had managed to complete a deal to sign Nico Williams. But the Brazilian has shrugged that off to lead the Blaugrana to the cusp of a terrific treble. There is no doubt that Rafinha is playing the best football of his career right now. But will that be enough to win him the Ballon d'Or? It's slightly more up in the air now after Barca defensive deficiencies were exposed by Inter on Wednesday. In 2024-25, 16 goals, 25 assists, Won Copa del Rey and Supercopa de España. No player has won the Ballon d'Or before their 21st birthday in the almost 70 years of the award. But right now, it would be a shock if Yamal didn't break that record given he has another 3 seasons to get there. There is presently no greater talent in the game than the Barcelona teenager, who, as he has shown already in 2024-25, is only going to get better and better. He is being outscored by 2 of his teammates in Catalunya. But plenty of La Liga watchers will tell you that the 17-year-old has been the most impressive attacking player in Spain thus far this campaign. Coupled with his Champions League showings, which reached outrageous new heights on Wednesday against Inter, and he might now be the top Golden Ball candidate within the Barca dressing room. In 2024-25, 35 goals, 11 assists, 1 League One and Trophy des Champions. Has the real Dembele finally arrived? Ever since he left Borussia Dortmund for Barcelona, the France winger has frustrated fans more than he's delighted them, despite clearly being a player of rare ability. Now, though, Dembele has found a groove during his second season at PSG, with his performances helping the French champions continue their stranglehold of League One. Their Champions League dreams, meanwhile, are very much alive after knocking out Liverpool and Aston Villa thanks, in part, to Dembele's strike at Anfield. And suddenly, Luis Enrique's side look like true European contenders, led by their flying frontman, who also netted the only goal against Arsenal in the first leg of their semi-final.